Title, Class 11 Biology Chapter 8, Cell, the Unit of Life. Teacher. Hello students. Welcome back to our biology class. Today we are going to study one of the most important chapters in Class 11 Biology, Chapter 8, Cell, the Unit of Life. Before starting, look around you. You can see plants, animals, humans, bacteria, fungi, and many other living things. They all look different. But inside, all living organisms have one common basic unit. That is the cell. So today, our main question is, what makes something living? The answer is simple, the presence of cells. A cell is like a small living factory. It has boundaries, control center, energy station, packaging system, transport system, digestion system, and storage system. Just like a city or a house needs different rooms and workers, a cell also needs different parts called organelles. Part 1. What is a cell? A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Structural unit means the body is built using cells. Functional unit means all life activities happen inside cells. For example, a brick is the basic unit of a building. In the same way, a cell is the basic unit of a living organism. Some organisms are made of only one cell. These are called unicellular organisms. Example, amoeba and bacteria. Some organisms are made of many cells. These are called multicellular organisms. Example, humans, plants, frog, dog, and mango tree. Question. Teacher, can a single cell live independently? Student, yes, in unicellular organisms like amoeba, one cell can perform all life functions. Part 2, Discovery of Cell. Antony van Leeuwenhoek first saw and described a live cell. Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. The invention of the microscope helped scientists understand the structure of cells. Real-life example. Without a microscope, we cannot see bacteria in curd, pond water, or spoiled food. But through a microscope, we can see that even tiny living things are made of cells. Part 3, Cell Theory. Cell theory was developed by Schleiden and Schwann. Schleiden studied plants and said plants are made of cells. Schwann studied animals and said animals are also made of cells. Later, Rudolf Virchow added that new cells arise from pre-existing cells. Modern cell theory says 1. All living organisms are made of cells and cell products. 2. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. Easy example. A new house is built from bricks. A new cell is formed from an already existing cell. Cells do not suddenly appear from nothing. Part 4, Overview of Cell. A typical cell has 3 main parts. 1. Plasma membrane. 2. Cytoplasm. 3. Nucleus or genetic material. Plant cells have cell wall outside the plasma membrane. Animal cells do not have cell wall. The cytoplasm is a semi-fluid material where many chemical reactions happen. The nucleus contains chromosomes, and chromosomes contain DNA. DNA carries hereditary information. Question. Teacher, why is nucleus called the control center of the cell? Student, because it controls cell activities and contains genetic material. Part 5, Prokaryotic and Eukaryotic cells. Cells are mainly divided into 2 types. Prokaryotic cells. These cells do not have a well-defined nucleus. They do not have membrane-bound organelles. Examples, bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma. Eukaryotic cells. These cells have a well-defined nucleus with nuclear membrane. They have membrane-bound organelles. Examples, plants, animals, fungi, and protists. Real-life example. Think of a small roadside shop and a big supermarket. A prokaryotic cell is like a small shop. It does basic work but has fewer compartments. A eukaryotic cell is like a supermarket. It has different sections for different functions. Question. Teacher, Which cell is more advanced, prokaryotic or eukaryotic? Student, eukaryotic cell is more complex and advanced. Part 6, Prokaryotic cell structure. Bacteria are prokaryotic cells. They have cell envelope, cytoplasm, genetic material, ribosomes, plasmids, flagella in some bacteria, pili and fimbriae in some bacteria. The cell envelope has 3 layers. 1 glycocalyx, 2 cell wall, 3 plasma membrane. Glycocalyx may be a slime layer or capsule. It protects the bacteria. Cell wall gives shape and prevents bursting. Plasma membrane is selectively permeable. Some bacteria have plasmids. Plasmids are small circular DNA molecules. They may give antibiotic resistance. Real-life example. Sometimes doctors say, do not take antibiotics unnecessarily. Why? Because bacteria can develop resistance, and plasmids may help them carry resistance characters. Part 7, Bacterial movement. Some bacteria move using flagella. Flagellum has 3 parts. 1 filament, 2 hook, 3 basal body. Pili and fimbriae help bacteria attach to surfaces or host tissues. Easy example. Flagella are like propellers of a boat. Fimbriae are like tiny hooks that help bacteria stick. Part 8, Ribosomes and inclusion bodies. Ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. Prokaryotic ribosomes are 70s type. Many ribosomes may attach to one mRNA and form polysomes. Inclusion bodies store reserve food materials like phosphate granules, glycogen granules, and cyanophycine granules. Question. Teacher, what is the function of ribosomes? Student, ribosomes help in protein synthesis. Part 9, Eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are found in plants, animals, fungi, and protists. They have nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, mitochondria, vacuoles, ribosomes, cytoskeleton, centrosome in animal cells, plastids in plant cells. Plant cell has cell wall, plastids, large central vacuole. Animal cell has centrioles, no cell wall, no plastids. Real-life example. Plant cells are like houses with strong compound walls. Animal cells are like flexible rooms without a rigid outer wall. Part 10, Cell membrane. Cell membrane is mainly made of lipids and proteins. The major lipids are phospholipids arranged in a bilayer. Singer and Nicholson proposed the fluid mosaic model in 1972. The cell membrane is selectively permeable. It allows some substances to enter and stops others. Transport across membrane. 1 passive transport, no energy required. 2 active transport, energy required. Diffusion. Movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. Osmosis. Movement of water through a selectively permeable membrane. Active transport. Movement from lower concentration to higher concentration using ATP. Example, sodium-potassium pump. Real-life example. When you put raisins in water, they swell because water enters by osmosis. Question. Teacher, why is plasma membrane called selectively permeable? Student, because it allows only selected substances to pass through. Part 11, Cell wall. Cell wall is present in plants and fungi. In plants, it is mainly made of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, and proteins. Functions. Gives shape. Protects from mechanical damage. Prevents infection. Helps cell-to-cell interaction. Middle lamella is made mainly of calcium pectate. It acts like glue between neighboring plant cells. Plasmodesmata connect the cytoplasm of neighboring plant cells. Real-life example. Cell wall is like the outer compound wall of a house. Middle lamella is like cement joining bricks. Part 12, Endomembrane System. The endomembrane system includes endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, vacuoles. These organelles work together in a coordinated way. Mitochondria, chloroplasts, and peroxisomes are not part of the endomembrane system because their functions are not coordinated with it. Part 13, Endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of tiny tubular structures in the cytoplasm. Two types. 1. Rough ER. 2. Smooth ER. Rough ER has ribosomes on its surface. It helps in protein synthesis and secretion. Smooth ER has no ribosomes. It helps in lipid synthesis. In animal cells, steroidal hormones are synthesized in SER. Real-life example. Rough ER is like a factory with workers attached to it. The workers are ribosomes making proteins. Smooth ER is like a factory section making lipids. Part 14, Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus was first observed by Camillo Golgi in 1898. It consists of flattened sacs called cisternae. It has two faces. Cis face, forming face. Trans face, maturing face. Functions. Packaging. Modification. Transport. Formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Real-life example. Golgi apparatus is like a courier packing center. It receives materials, modifies them, packs them and sends them to the correct destination. Part 15, Lysosomes. Lysosomes are membrane-bound vesicles formed by Golgi apparatus. They contain hydrolytic enzymes. They digest carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. Real-life example. Lysosomes are like the cleaning team or waste disposal system of the cell. Question. Teacher, why are lysosomes called digestive bags? Student, because they contain enzymes that digest macromolecules. Part 16, Vacuoles. Vacuoles are membrane-bound spaces in cytoplasm. They contain water, sap, excretory products and other materials. In plant cells, vacuoles may occupy up to 90% of cell volume. The vacuole membrane is called tonoplast. In amoeba, contractile vacuole helps in osmoregulation and excretion. Real-life example. Vacuole is like a storage tank inside the cell. Part 17, Mitochondria. Mitochondria are double membrane-bound organelles. The inner membrane forms folds called cristae. Cristae increase surface area. Mitochondria are the sites of aerobic respiration. They produce ATP. So they are called the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria have their own circular DNA, RNA, and 70s ribosomes. They divide by fission. Real-life example. Just like a power station supplies electricity to a city, mitochondria supply energy to the cell. Question. Teacher, why is mitochondrion called powerhouse of the cell? Student, because it produces ATP, the energy currency of the cell. Part 18, Plastids. Plastids are found in plant cells and euglenoids. Types. 1. Chloroplasts. 2. Chromoplasts. 3. Leucoplasts. Chloroplasts contain chlorophyll and help in photosynthesis. Chromoplasts contain colored pigments like carotene and xanthophyll. Leucoplasts are colorless and store food. Types of leucoplasts. Amyloplasts store starch. Eleoplasts store oils and fats. Aleuroplasts store proteins. Real-life example. Green leaves have chloroplasts. Carrot and tomato color is due to chromoplasts. Potato stores starch in amyloplasts. Part 19, Chloroplast structure. Chloroplast is double membrane bound. Inside it, there is stroma. Thylakoids are arranged in stacks called grana. Grana are like piles of coins. Stromalamellae connect different grana. Chlorophyll pigments are present in thylakoids. Grana are the site of light reaction. Stroma is the site of dark reaction. Question. Teacher, which organelle traps light energy for photosynthesis? Student, chloroplast. Part 20, ribosomes. Ribosomes are made of RNA and proteins. They are not surrounded by any membrane. They help in protein synthesis. Prokaryotic ribosomes, 70s. Eukaryotic ribosomes, 80s. 70s has 50s and 30s subunits. 80s has 60s and 40s subunits. Real-life example. Ribosomes are like protein-making machines of the cell. Part 21, cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton is a network of protein filaments in the cytoplasm. It includes microtubules, microfilaments, intermediate filaments. Functions: mechanical support, cell movement, maintaining cell shape. Real-life example. Cytoskeleton is like the iron framework inside a building. Part 22, cilia and flagella. Cilia and flagella are hair-like outgrowths of the cell membrane. Cilia are short and help in movement of cell or surrounding fluid. Flagella are longer and help in cell movement. Eukaryotic cilia and flagella have 9+2 arrangement of microtubules. Real-life example. Cilia are like small oars in a boat. Flagella are like a long tail used for swimming. Part 23, centrosome and centrioles. Centrosome is present in animal cells. It contains 2 centrioles. Centrioles help in cell division by forming spindle fibers. They also form basal bodies of cilia and flagella. Part 24, nucleus. Nucleus is the control center of the cell. It has nuclear envelope, nuclear pores, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, chromatin. Nuclear envelope is double membrane bound. Nuclear pores allow movement of RNA and proteins. Nucleolus helps in ribosome formation. Chromatin contains DNA and proteins. During cell division, chromatin becomes chromosomes. Question. Teacher, what is the main function of nucleus? Student, it controls cell activities and carries hereditary information. Part 25, chromosomes. Chromosomes contain DNA and proteins. Each chromosome has a centromere. Kinetochores are disc-shaped structures present on the sides of centromere. Types of chromosomes based on centromere position. 1 metacentric. 2 submetacentric. 3 acrocentric. 4 telocentric. Metacentric, centromere in the middle. Submetacentric, centromere slightly away from middle. Acrocentric, centromere near one end. Telocentric, centromere at terminal end. Part 26, microbodies. Microbodies are small membrane-bound vesicles. They contain enzymes. They are present in both plant and animal cells. Final revision. Cell is the basic unit of life. Prokaryotic cells do not have a true nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have a true nucleus. Plasma membrane controls entry and exit. Cell wall gives support and protection. ER makes proteins and lipids. Golgi apparatus modifies and packs materials. Lysosomes digest waste. Vacuoles store materials. Mitochondria produce ATP. Chloroplasts help in photosynthesis. Ribosomes make proteins. Cytoskeleton gives shape and support. Nucleus controls the cell. Chromosomes carry DNA. Important question and answer for video. Q1. What is a cell? A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Q2. Why is cell called the unit of life? Because all living organisms are made of cells and all life activities occur inside cells. Q3. What are unicellular organisms? Organisms made of a single cell are called unicellular organisms. Example, amoeba and bacteria. Q4. What are multicellular organisms? Organisms made of many cells are called multicellular organisms. Example, humans, plants, and animals. Q5. Who first saw and described a live cell? Antony van Leeuwenhoek first saw and described a live cell. Q6. Who discovered the nucleus? Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. Q7. Who proposed cell theory? Schleiden and Schwann proposed cell theory. Q8. Who said omnis cellula e cellula? Rudolf Virchow said that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Q9. What are the two main points of modern cell theory? All living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. Q10. What is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells? Prokaryotic cells do not have a membrane-bound nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have a membrane-bound nucleus. Q11. Give examples of prokaryotic cells. Bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, and PPLO. Q12. Give examples of eukaryotic organisms. Plants, animals, fungi, and protists. Q13. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is the semi-fluid matrix inside the cell where many chemical reactions occur. Q14. What is plasma membrane? Plasma membrane is the outer boundary of the cell. It is selectively permeable. Q15. What is the fluid mosaic model? The fluid mosaic model explains the structure of plasma membrane. It was proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. Q16. What is passive transport? Movement of molecules across membrane without energy is called passive transport. Q17. What is active transport? Movement of molecules against concentration gradient using ATP is called active transport. Q18. What is osmosis? Movement of water through a selectively permeable membrane is called osmosis. Q19. What is cell wall? Cell wall is a rigid non-living outer covering present in plant and fungal cells. Q20. What is middle lamella? Middle lamella is a calcium pectate layer that glues neighboring plant cells together. Q21. What is endomembrane system? Golgi complex, lysosomes, and vacuoles together form the endomembrane system. Q22. What is the function of rough ER? Rough ER helps in protein synthesis and secretion. Q23. What is the function of smooth ER? Smooth ER helps in lipid synthesis. Q24. What is the function of Golgi apparatus? Golgi apparatus modifies, packages, and transports materials. Q25. What are lysosomes? Lysosomes are membrane-bound vesicles containing digestive enzymes. Q26. Why are mitochondria called powerhouse of the cell? Because mitochondria produce ATP during aerobic respiration. Q27. What are plastids? Plastids are pigment-containing organelles found in plant cells and euglenoids. Q28. What are chloroplasts? Chloroplasts are green plastids containing chlorophyll. They help in photosynthesis. Q29. What are chromoplasts? Chromoplasts are colored plastids containing pigments like carotene and xanthophyll. Q30. What are leucoplasts? Leucoplasts are colorless plastids that store food materials. Q31. What is the function of ribosomes? Ribosomes help in protein synthesis. Q32. What are 70s and 80s ribosomes? Prokaryotic ribosomes are 70s. Eukaryotic ribosomes are 80s. Q33. What is cytoskeleton? Cytoskeleton is a network of protein filaments that give support, shape, and movement to the cell. Q34. What is the 9+2 arrangement? It is the arrangement of microtubules in eukaryotic cilia and flagella. Q35. What is centrosome? Centrosome is an organelle in animal cells containing centrioles. It helps in cell division. Q36. What is nucleus? Nucleus is the control center of the cell and contains genetic material. Q37. What is nucleolus? Nucleolus is a structure inside nucleus involved in ribosome formation. Q38. What are chromosomes? Chromosomes are DNA protein structures that carry hereditary information. Q39. Name 4 types of chromosomes based on centromere position. Metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric and telocentric. Q40. What are microbodies? Microbodies are small membrane-bound vesicles containing enzymes.
ஒரு நாள் ஒரு மாணவன் தன் ஆசிரியரிடம் கேட்டான், மேடம், உயிருள்ள பொருளுக்கும் உயிரில்லாத பொருளுக்கும் என்ன வித்தியாசம்? ஆசிரியர் சிரித்துக்கொண்டு சொன்னார், அதற்கு பதில் ஒன்றுதான். உயிருள்ள எல்லா பொருள்களிலும் செல்லிருக்கும் செல்தான் வாழ்க்கையின் அடிப்படை அலகு. அந்த மாணவன் ஆச்சரியப்பட்டான். அப்படின்னா நம்ம உடம்பும் செல்களால் தான் ஆனது? ஆம், நம்ம உடம்பு கோடிக்கணக்கான செல்களால் ஆனது. ஒவ்வொரு செல்லும் ஒரு சிறிய நகரம் மாதிரி வேலை செய்கிறது. அந்த நகரத்துக்கு வெளியே ஒரு எல்லை இருந்தது. அதுதான் பிளாஸ்மா மெம்பரேன். அது யாரை உள்ளே அனுப்ப வேண்டும், யாரை வெளியே அனுப்ப வேண்டும் என்று முடிவு செய்கிறது. இது நம்ம வீட்டின் கதவு மாதிரி. எல்லாரையும் வீட்டுக்குள் அனுப்ப மாட்டோம், தெரிந்தவர்களை மட்டும் அனுப்புவோம். அதுபோல பிளாஸ்மா மெம்பரேன் தேர்வு செய்து பொருள்களை உள்ளே அனுப்பும். அந்த நகரத்தில் ஒரு தலைமை அலுவலகம் இருந்தது. அதுதான் நியூக்ளியஸ். அது செல்லின் எல்லா வேலைகளையும் கட்டுப்படுத்தும். அதற்குள் டிஎன்ஏ இருக்கும். டிஎன் தான் மரபு தகவலை சேமித்து வைத்திருக்கும். அடுத்து அந்த நகரத்திற்கு மின்சாரம் தேவை. அதற்காக மைட்டோகாண்ட்ரியா என்ற மின் நிலையம் இருந்தது. அது ஏடிபி என்ற சக்தியை உருவாக்கும். அதனால் தான் மைட்டோகாண்ட்ரியாவை செல்லின் பவர் ஹவுஸ் என்று சொல்கிறோம். அந்த நகரத்தில் தொழிற்சாலை இருந்தது. அது எண்டோபிளாஸ்மிக் ரெட்டிகுலம். ரஃப் ஏர் புரதங்களை உருவாக்க உதவும். ஸ்மூத் ஏர் கொழுப்பு போன்ற பொருள்களை உருவாக்க உதவும். பொருள்களை தயாரித்த பிறகு அவற்றை சரியான இடத்திற்கு அனுப்ப வேண்டும் அல்லவா? அதற்காக கோல்கி அப்பராத்துஸ் இருந்தது. அது கூறிய ஆபீஸ் மாதிரி பொருள்களை பேக் செய்து அனுப்பும். நகரத்தில் குப்பை தேங்கினால் பிரச்சனை வரும். அதற்காக லைசோசோம் என்ற கிளீனிங் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இருந்தது. அது தேவையற்ற பொருள்களை டைஜஸ்ட் செய்து சுத்தம் செய்யும். பிளான் செல் என்ற நகரத்தில் ஒரு பெரிய ஸ்டோரேஜ் டேங்க் இருக்கும். அதுதான் வார்ச்சுவல். அது தண்ணீர், சாப், வேஸ்ட் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் போன்றவற்றை சேமித்து வைக்கும். பிளான் செல்லுக்கு வெளியே ஒரு வலுவான காம்பவுண்ட் வால் இருக்கும். அதுதான் செல் வால். அது செல்லுக்கு வடிவம் தரும், பாதுகாப்பு தரும். பச்சை இலைகளில் குளோரோபிளாஸ்ட் இருக்கும். அது சூரிய ஒளியை பிடித்து உணவு தயாரிக்கும். அதனால் தான் தாவரங்கள் போட்டோசிந்தசிஸ் செய்ய முடியும். செல்லு ரைபோசோம் என்ற சிறிய புரோட்டீன் மெஷின் இருக்கும். அது புரோட்டீன் சிந்தசிஸ் செய்யும். செல்லுக்கு ஷேப் மற்றும் சப்போர்ட் கொடுக்க சைட்டோஸ்கெலட்டன் இருக்கும். இது பில்டிங்குள் இருக்கும் ஐரன் கிராவல்ஸ் மாதிரி. சில செல்கள் நகர வேண்டும். அதற்காக சிலியா மற்றும் ஃபிளஜெல்லா இருக்கும். சிலியா சிறிய போர் மாதிரி வேலை செய்யும். ஃபிளஜெல்லா நீண்ட வேல் மாதிரி வேலை செய்யும். ஆசிரியர் முடிவில் சொன்னார், ஒரு செல் சிறியதுதான், ஆனால் அதற்குள் வாழ்க்கைக்கு தேவையான அனைத்து அமைப்புகளும் இருக்கின்றன. அதனால் தான் செல் இஸ் தி யூனிட் ஆஃப் லைஃப் என்று சொல்கிறோம். மாணவன் சொன்னான், மேடம், இப்போ எனக்கு செல் ஒரு தியாகிரம் மாதிரி இல்லை, அது ஒரு லிவிங் சிட்டி மாதிரி புரிகிறது. ஆசிரியர் சொன்னார்.
Only spoken voice. Dear students, if you like simple study videos, chapter explanations, question and answer practice, and easy revision notes, please subscribe to our channel, save this playlist, and continue learning step by step. Your support motivates us to create more useful study-related videos. Thank you for watching, and keep learning.